What's going on, guys? TTG Matt back. Welcome back to the NBA Power Rankings. Haven't done one of these in almost a month. Let's get right into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new around here. We've been growing recently. Love to see it. Look at our tiers. We have the Thunder up top. They're the Thunder. Top 5, good, not elite. Mid but fun, mid not fun, and went to AP, spent $200K, they sold me the Frost Rainbow Face. If you know, you know. I can't believe On One Tonight by Gunna ended up being like the capture the flag of this season, I guess. I don't know. Pretty fun though. Love the song. Love that album. Anyways, let's get right into it. Like, subscribe, said it before. Atlanta Hawks, they're going to go in mid but fun. They've been playing really decent ball. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson. They got all these young guys that are just having great seasons so far. Vit Krejci wasn't on my radar. He's been really damn good recently. The one thing I will say, Quinn Snyder, how about we relax on them Luke Kennard minutes? He hasn't been that great. Otherwise than that, though, like Nickeil's averaging a 20 spot. Jalen Johnson's putting up triple doubles. He had a triple double at half against the Nuggets. Of course, they blew that game though. But Jalen Johnson's been super impressive, finishing around the rim, and he's shooting well recently. He started off the season really rough from 3, but since then he's really gotten hot from behind the arc. He's really rounded out his game. I'm happy for Jalen Johnson. Zach Richesay's played pretty well. Like, they're playing good, but they're still kind of mid. I think they're 3 games over. It's not great. It's not bad, though. They're fun, especially because they're without Trae Young right now, and it's kind of just... there weren't many expectations, and they've done pretty well. Boston Celtics are going to go in good, not elite. I still have my reservations about them. These tiers that I gave myself are very stiff, you know, so it's kind of... the Celtics are in the top 10 teams range if I did it like that, but I'd rather name it something fun. The Celtics have been playing really good ball, and it all starts with Jay Bizzle, Jaylen Brown. I got the Juice shirt on because he's been hard carrying sometimes. He has 30 a game. Like, it feels like he's putting up 30 every night. Finally, Derek White's turned it around. He's knocking down his threes. He's playing good defense still. He had a really good play on BI last night where he had a deflection on a pull-up 3. Like, Derek White has slowly turned his season around. And on top of that, the center play with Queta. But I just still need one more backup center to put them up there. They need one backup center. Nick Claxton. Something like that. I'd be so fine with it. But right now, it's like... they're really good. They're playing really good ball, and I'm happy for them. But overall, it's like, I don't know. Not in the top 5. Don't misconstrue, though. Like I just said, this team is like a backup center away from being a potential top 5 team. Jaylen Brown is playing unbelievably well. And if he were to finish the season averaging, I believe it's like 38 and 6, which he's currently on par with, or 38 and 5. He's in elite company. Like, he's having a terrific season, and he's been efficient. Jaylen Brown's checked every box of what they needed from a star player without Jason Tatum. The Brooklyn Nets are going to the bottom. Admittedly, I haven't watched a game of theirs in like a week, and I think that's kind of fair. They're not really that good. But Nick Claxton's putting up triple doubles. It's got me interested. Michael Porter Jr.'s looked very impressive. Of course, we knew MPJ could score. But I didn't know how much it was going to be because he's been limited by back injuries, leg injuries, a plethora of injuries throughout his career. I didn't know what to expect from one-man army Michael Porter Jr., but he's one of those guys that can just steal you a game. If he gets hot and he gets going, he is hard to stop. There's some trade targets your favorite team may look to find on the Brooklyn Nets roster, whether it is a Nick Claxton, whether it's a Day'Ron Sharpe. They may be even open to trading like a Tyrese Martin, who's not having a great year, admittedly, but he's 26, not really part of the young core. Maybe someone's interested. I don't know. There's some guys on the Nets that you can try to poach, but as for right now, it doesn't look like they're really in there to win games. They haven't been playing well. Hornets are going in mid but fun as well. They play a lot of close games, like even against Denver the other night, or last night, I think that was like a decent game for the most part. Going to the 4th, they were down 6. Like, that's not an insurmountable lead. They've played fun basketball. Their record does not indicate this. They are not as good as the Atlanta Hawks, admittedly. They aren't. You look at records, you can easily tell that. But what I am saying is that the Hornets aren't great, but they've been playing fun basketball. They keep games close. They have a bunch of good players that can get going and score the ball, whether it's LaMelo, Khan, Bridges, any of those guys. Brandon Miller's back. Like, there's plenty of things to be excited about in Charlotte. Even though they aren't winning games, they're still hanging around in most of them, and that's a good sign for a young team. Bulls are going in mid, not fun. Modest Buzelis just needs the ball more because nobody else on this team is worth it. I'm just gonna say that word, but it's a little early in the video to be swearing. You gotta wait till later in the video at least. The Bulls are playing bad, quite frankly. They're hard to watch. They won a lot of close games early, and if you know sports, you know one score luck doesn't last forever. Eventually, things start to change. Noah Senge going down for the rest of the season is definitely a tough blow, because if they're going to be bad, you at least want your first-round rookie to get PT, and the fact that he's done for the season, it feels like this was an entirely wasted season now, because Modis is not getting the ball more. Giddey's still kind of ball dominant, and for good reason. He's having a great year. But there's some guys on the Bulls that your team may even be able to poach too. Vooch, maybe Dosunmu or Kobe. I expect them to move pieces, but again, it's the Bulls. They're going to be hard stuck at mid because that's what their front office loves, is being mid. You know what? Hot take. I'm putting the Cavs in mid, but not fun. They lost to the Warriors without Steph, Draymond, without Pajemski, I think. There was a lot of guys down from them without Jimmy Butler, and they lost. And they're fully healthy. Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen were all out there, and they lose that game. They don't even put up 100 points. That's just unreal to me. The Warriors were running a small ball lineup, and they did not punish them at all. At all. The Cavs have been depressingly mid this season, considering they could have been favorites in the East if they played like last season. But it feels like there's just nothing to this team right now. There's no spark. There's no fun, you know? They need to... I still stand by it. I think they need to make some moves, man. Of course, they are better than the Hornets. Again, I will clarify. They are better than the Hornets. But it's just two different sides of the spectrum. The Hornets weren't expected to be a good team. The Cavs were. Cavs were East favorites to start this season damn near, and they've been playing nothing but underwhelming basketball, and I don't know how much longer you can justify keeping this lineup out there and not making a move. Garland or Allen, they got to move, one of them, because it's at this point, there's just nothing here. You've dug out everything you possibly could. You've mined this entire place. You strip mined every possible outcome you could have got with this Cavs roster. You've maxed out their potential last season. It's time to make a shift. I still believe in Kenny Atkinson as a coach, but overall this team's been so unimpressive and so unenthusiastic, I guess. Like, Donovan Mitchell's the saving grace here. If Dono wasn't scoring 40 every other night, I genuinely don't know if I'd be watching Cavs games. Have they dealt with injuries? Of course. Every team does, though. This is just the one team that feels like they haven't fought back from it. Of course, I know Garland missed a good portion of the season. Oh, well, dude. You still have two All-NBA guys on there, in Mitchell and Mobley. Mobley's been underwhelming as hell, too. It's just an underwhelming team, man. I know they're better than Charlotte. I will say that again. If we're doing it strictly, they're better than Charlotte. But expectation spectrum heavily favors the Cavaliers. They were favorites in the East, and they're like the 8th seed. Dallas, I'm putting in mid, not fun. I could put them in tanking, but overall, they've played much better recently, and Cooper Flagg is getting more and more confident every game, and his rim finishing has become apparent. Like, he's become a really good rim finisher. He's a madman jumping in the air right now. Cooper Flagg has been the saving grace for this team to be fun. Anthony Davis has been hooping recently, and I'm not sure whether that means the Dallas Mavericks are going to buy in and be like, well, look, AD's healthy. We're a good team now. Let's keep this roster the same and try and make a playoff push. Or are they going to say, hey, like jingling keys in the air to other teams, hey, AD's putting up 22 and 15. Looks pretty good today. I don't know. I don't know whether he's just playing up his trade value or if they're genuinely going to try to make a little push out of this, a little run out of this roster. I don't know. They're still well under 500, but the reason they're unfun is because of the fact that it's Cooper Flagg and a bunch of role players. And it's like, D'Lo? Am I tapped in to watch D'Lo hoop? Not really. Flagg covers a lot of stink on that roster. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on to the Nuggets, who are clearly a top 5 team. Jonas Valanciunas looks like he's getting more and more comfortable. It's weird that I'm starting off the Nuggets discussion with Jonas Valanciunas, but Val has looked a lot more comfortable recently, and he's definitely played some big-time minutes, and he's covered Jokic pretty well in some of these games recently. I kind of disrespected him in my the Ringers Top 100 video that I did a few days ago, but Jamal Murray has been playing really good ball this season. He just dropped 50 the other night, and I think him and Jokic are still like ideal the pairing, pick and roll partner wise. Funny enough, I believe they're one of those teams that has like a funky home road record where I think they have more losses at home than on the road or something like that. They've been a really good road team. And I like how Denver is playing. Jokic, of course, is the head of it all. But through the injuries they've had, no Christian Brown, no Aaron Gordon, those injuries really matter. Those are 2 starters. And they go out there, they get production from P.Y. They go out there, they get production from Jalen Pickett. They're getting production from other guys on the team. This is a really deep team this year, and I'm happy for Jokic to finally have some guys off the bench who might be able to hoop. Spencer Jones gets PT every once in a while, and he doesn't look bad. I wish DaRon Holmes was getting PT. I don't know, maybe another team makes a move for him because Denver's rotations are so solid. I don't see DaRon Holmes really getting a look anytime soon, but maybe if Valanciunas leaves next year, I really don't know. Either way, Denver's played really impressive basketball. They're definitely a top 5 team for me when I think of the championship contenders in the NBA. The Detroit Pistons also have to go in the top 5. They're really damn good. They're still the 1 seed in the East. They're still really damn good. And as much as I just said Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic is one of the best pick and roll pairings in the NBA, I mean, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren is shooting up that list. Jalen Duren has just been a monster around the rim. I think the Pistons also produced maybe one of the best moments of the season with that Drummond Isaiah Stewart, when Isaiah Stewart just kind of put his fist in his face and gave him the why I oughta. It was incredible. Hilarious. The Pistons have been playing good basketball. Ron Holland, man, I kind of criticized him a while ago, saying, like, I wish he could shoot. I still wish he can shoot, but hell, he's been great on defense. So there's some value there. Duncan Robinson's being clutch for them, like he knocked down a clutch 3 the other night. They're finding production. That's what the Pistons are doing. They're finding production. J.D. Bickerstaff is still my coach of the year, in my opinion. I know Mark E.D., Mark Daigneault, Joe Mazzulla has a case now, but J.B. Bickerstaff still has my coach of the year vote. The Pistons have been playing really, really well, like better than most people probably imagine this season. The hidden heroes of the Pistons, like Asar Thompson, Danish Jenkins for covering up when Ivy wasn't there. Ivy hasn't really played that well, but he's still kind of figuring it out. It's early season for him still. I just really like what the Pistons got going on. Their rotations look really good. Like when their backups sub in, it's hardly a drop off. Like they've been playing really good ball, and I'm proud of the Pistons. You want to talk about a hard team to rank? We got the Golden State Warriors, who I'm gonna put them in mid but fun, I guess. They don't have Curry right now, but their bench. I mean, this is literally recency. If I did the whole season, the Warriors would probably be here because when they did have their star players, they weren't playing up to par. But of recently, Spencer, is it Pat or is it Cam? I think it's Pat. Pat Spencer. Who else do I got to give some credit to? Like Buddy Hields had some scoring games. Like their bench, their stay ready group came in and won them a couple of games. Like Pat Spencer has looked like a real, get him off a 10-day. Just sign him to a regular contract. They also just have so many guards. That's one thing on this Warriors roster that I will say I think needs to change. There's a lot of guards. Like, it's a heavy guard room. Obviously, Curry's there. But, like, it's Curry, Spencer, Pajemski's a guard, Moody's a guard, Gary Payton is a guard center, whatever the hell you want to call that. And I think I'm forgetting a couple of guys, but, like, they got, like, 8 guys that are 6'5" and under. That's a small backcourt, I really do like what the Warriors got going right now with their bench unit just cooking teams, I guess. Like I said, man, they beat the Cavs the other night, held the Cavs to like 94 points, and they didn't have Draymond. Like, they didn't have a lot of guys. You'd think the captain of their defense being Draymond Green, he leaves the game and they're still playing fine. Like, I don't know. They're getting production out of other guys. And I just kind of have to tip my cap. I'm not tipping my cap to Spencer. He wears 61. You don't deserve a tipped cap. We're not doing that. 61, change the jersey, please. 16 looks better than 61. Watch how I phrase that one. 16 looks better than 61. Yeah, dude, that sounds like the guy with the one island, that Jeffrey guy. Anyways, Houston Rockets. I'm not exactly sure where to put them. You know what? Let's skip around. Washington, you're going to AP, spending $200K. Right? There's no real reason to be competitive with this roster. They got 40 balled by the Celtics without Jaylen Brown. You got 40 ball by Jordan Walsh. I mean, it's incredible what I've been witnessing out of this Wizards team. They are horrific. Marvin Bagley getting big PT. Bub Carrington's jumper looks atrocious. I don't know what else to really say about that. Like, Keyshawn George is good. CJ McCollum is still CJ McCollum. I don't think anyone's watching. You know, I watched one of their games the other day, and you look in the stands, and it was bare, to say the least. Like there wasn't anybody there. It was just a bad turnout, I guess. But for a bad team like the Wizards, do you expect a ton of fans to be there? I don't know. Either way, they're hard to watch, and I'm not exactly sure what are they even doing. Is DeBonta gonna come save this team? Is Cam Boozer gonna come save this team? Is Darren Peterson gonna come save this team? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Who else goes down low? The Pacers. They stink bad. They just do. I rooted for a bunch of their young guys to see like some upside in them. Everyone wanted to see Jarris Walker get full starting PT, and Jarris Walker's been just mid as hell. I like Jarris, I really do, but it seems like a lot of these guys seem like they were products of Halliburton, and that's okay. You're really good because your star is really good. That just means you're a good role player. Like you look at their shooting woes, it's like Nesmith went down in shooting. Jarris Walker was a 40% three-point shooter last year that suddenly can't buy one. Like, I don't know what else to say about the Pacers. They're a hard watch, to say the least. I like Andrew Nembhard, and his brother Ryan Nembhard for the Mavericks has been hooping too, but realistically, the Pacers are not a great team right now. Where are they? Pelicans, you're going down there. Another team where I tuned into the last game and there was nobody in the arena. It felt like, it felt like if you were in the second deck, the upper deck or whatever you call it, you could walk down and probably sit right behind the commentator's table and not have an issue. There was nobody there. They are a hard group to watch. Zion's hurt right now, so now there's even less of a reason to watch. They don't have their own first round pick. Derek Queen looked good though. He's had some ups, some downs. He's a rookie, but overall, like I like that he doesn't quit. He's the type of guy that'll keep fighting with 10 seconds left. But overall, I don't know. I don't even know where they go from here. I feel bad for James Borrego, I think is their new interim coach. I feel bad because he's in a bad spot, but overall, this Pelicans roster and the Pelicans franchise just feels cursed. Sacramento, you're going down there. You are a very hard watch. I don't know who's going to get moved. I don't know who on their team can get moved in midseason. DeMar DeRozan seems like the most obvious, but with Sabonis being down, I don't really know. DeMar is the most obvious, though. He's on a cheaper deal. I think DeMar's getting paid like $26 million the next 2 years. That's not bad for a guy like DeMar. I wouldn't say trade for him for most teams because his skill set is his skill set. You're not going to get anything different from DeMar. You're going to get a ton of mid-ranges. Like, that's what he does. But the rest of the roster, it's just there's a couple of guys that I really root for on their team. You know, Devin Carter, he's still young. He has some promise. Their big guy, Maxime Reynal. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't speak French. I don't know. I root for their young guys, but overall, like, there's just a ton of vets that are clogging up playing time that aren't really winning them games. I don't really know. Their backcourt of Westbrook, Schroeder, who'd have thought that was going to go badly? Except Westbrook is like the only guy that cares every game, it feels like. I don't know. The Kings are a disappointment and very hard to watch as well. Clippers, get out of my face with that nonsense. They get rid of Chris Paul and they don't do anything. They're still bad. I mean, you got rid of Chris Paul just to keep losing. I genuinely don't get it still to this day why they got rid of Chris Paul. I don't even want to talk about them anymore. They are a bad team, and they've wasted so much of my time this season. I don't even want to talk about them. Let's bounce around a little bit. Mid but fun. Phoenix. Their record wouldn't indicate that they're a great team, but they're 2 games over, and this was a team that I thought could be competing with these guys down here. Instead, they're not bad. They're contending for a playoff spot. Booker went down with a not really a crazy injury, but he'll be back eventually. You know who the rising star has been on this team is Dillon Brooks. He's been cooking this season. Dillon Brooks is a 20-point scorer, guys. Dillon Brooks is averaging over 20 a game. There's a lot of guys on their roster that I really like. Ryan Dunn, I really like. Royce O'Neal is a bad defender. I think he has the most blow-bys in the NBA. Like, he's been blown by the most in the NBA, which is a weird sentence to say, but it's a stat. He's been terrible on defense, but he makes up for it because he's a jack of all trades on offense who can knock down a shot, he can pass, he can rebound. He just gets blown by on defense a lot. I didn't like their center situation coming in, but it kind of held up for them. I wish Kaman Maluak would play more, but I don't know. We wait things out. But Dillon Brooks being a 20-point scorer definitely has earned that. That's a tip of the cap right there. That's a tip of the cap for Dillon Brooks. I feel happy for him. Also, Colin Gillespie, Grayson Allen. You know, they got a bunch of guys hooping, and I'm happy for them, man. They're not great, don't get me wrong, but for a team that could have been easily a bottom 5 team in the league, being in a playoff spot isn't bad. I'm going to put the Portland Trailblazers in mid not fun. Denny Avdija tripped a guy yesterday. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. But that wasn't what I was going to get at. What I am going to get at is they're very injured right now. Like Sidy Cissoko is their starting point guard some nights. And I said in my last video, I didn't even know Sidy Cissoko left the Spurs. So I don't know. They are very, they're very hurt. They're hurt. It's Denny Avdija hooping with whoever they can find. Caleb Love is coming off their bench and bombing away. Robert Williams is back, which makes me happy. But overall, the Portland Trailblazers have been a disappointing team. But with Chauncey Billups being in that federal gambling ring, like, this has been a very odd season for them. And I'm not exactly sure how to grade it because it's not their fault. Their coach is a degenerate gambler who got released like 10 games in. I don't mind Tiago Splitter as their head coach, but overall their team hasn't been playing that well and they're injured. Like I said, they have Drew Holiday, they had Scoot Henderson, they had a deep guard room coming in and neither one of them's playing. It's Sidy Cissoko, and Caleb Love. It's not my cup of tea, but Denny Avdija's hooping. He's probably going to get an all-star nod, so I guess clap it up for that at least. Oh yeah, the Thunder can go in the Thunder. They're just walloping teams, destroying teams. Man, they played the Jazz last night, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, no Shea. Maybe the Jazz can keep this one close. And then Brandon Carlson checks in. Brandon Carlson. I think there's a few people watching this video who think I'm trolling because they don't know who Brandon Carlson is. He subs into the game. He gets a poster vert dunk, and then he immediately hits back-to-back threes. I think he finished with like 15. He had to have been in the teens, I think. Then he makes it a 20-point game. He subs in. It goes from like, I don't know, an 8-point game to like a 25-point game in the span of like 5 minutes. I didn't know Brandon Carlson was that much of a game shifter, but if he's knocking down threes like he was last night, hell yeah he is. The Thunder are the Thunder. They're dominant. Their defense is suffocating. Actually suffocating. And Aaron Wiggins is back, which is fun. So, I don't know. I like Aaron Wiggins a lot. That's maybe my favorite bench piece for them is Aaron Wiggins. I'm going to put the Knicks in good, not elite. Maybe that's a hot take because they do have like the second best record in the East, but it's mostly because they're front loaded with a lot of home games. They've been a dominant home team. Like I think they are the best home team, like outside of OKC probably, in the league. The issue is that they have a sub 500 record on the road. And what's the games played split home and away? Hold on. 14 at home, 9 on the road. They're 13-1 at home, and then on the road they're like 3-6. It's not great. So I kind of have to taper my expectations. I know you can only play the schedule that you're given, but the fact that it's so front-loaded with a lot of home games and they've been very bad on the road, I don't know. There's a little bit of worry there. I just need to see more before I can bite into them being a top 5 team. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? You better. Knicks fans are notoriously the most rational people in the NBA fandom. I think Toronto's going to go in the same category as well. Maybe even Orlando, now that I think about it. But Toronto I'm going to go with Toronto first. Toronto is one backup center away from me, like, considering them a real contender. Again, just like Boston, almost, where it's like you just need a backup 5, man. Toronto's played good basketball, and not great recently. Not as good recently. They were rolling for a while. They've kind of cooled off. But overall, like, Scotty Barnes has been really damn good. Brandon Ingram's been their tough shot maker. I know Emmanuel Quickley is the starting point guard, but I'm a big Shed guy. But Jacoby Walters playing recently, like, he's been starting games, but he's not getting a ton of PT. I think he started against the Celtics, I think, but he only played like 10 minutes. I don't know. I just think that they're a team that's going to struggle to match up against a team with big men because their backup center, Sandro, and it's Mamu. I like Mamu. He's played really well, but he's not a backup 5, so I like Toronto right now. But I think that they need a couple more tweaks for roster improvements. Maybe that includes trading RJ Barrett. Maybe for a backup center. I don't know, but I think that they need a little bit more tweaking done with this roster before I really buy in. But it's nice to see them in a solid playoff spot when a lot of people thought they weren't going to be good. I kind of believed in them, and I feel good about it. Yeah, Orlando's going to go in the same spot. I know, the Knicks have a better record than Orlando. I know, I understand that. But I think the East is so open that these 4 teams in the good, not elite tier are like in the same range. You think about it. Because Orlando lost to the Knicks yesterday, even though Desmond Bane broke out the impromptu dodgeball game, mid-game, just spikes a ball at OG Anunoby. All-time funny moment maybe right there. But all 4 of these teams feel like they could beat each other in a playoff series. The Magic, could beat the Celtics in a playoff series. The Celtics could beat the Raptors in a playoff series. The Celtics could beat the Knicks could beat the Celtics. Really, if any of these teams played each other in a playoff matchup, do you feel good about any of them winning? The Knicks is maybe the one that you can make the case for, but can they win on the road? I genuinely don't know, and that's what worries me about them, and that's why I kind of have them in the same category as all these other teams. Currently, the team playing the worst out of these four is Toronto, but again, I really do like Toronto's roster construction. I think they just need a little bit more tweaks, like I said, but Orlando has been playing really good ball. Paolo's back, and he's not doing too much. That's the thing that I like to see with Paolo. When he's pressing the issue, and he's taking all these tough shots, and the offense is working around just him taking a tough shot, it's not fun to watch some nights. It's fun to see him kind of reintegrate into the offense and not press it, not force the issue. Let Desmond Bane cook. Let Franz Wagner go. You know, it's nice to see. The Heat, I'm going to put in mid but fun. They're a tier below because similarly, I think they're the Knicks but worse in a sense because they're really good at home, but their road record's not pretty. The road record is not pretty outside of the, what do the Heat play at? Is that the Kaseya Center now or whatever? I don't remember what they called their new arena after Crypto or whatever, when they did the Crypto Zoo Arena or whatever the hell it was called. I still think they're a fun team, and I still think they're a good team, but I don't know. I think they're still just really young, and they've kind of hit a lull recently, kind of a lull of winning. They haven't won, they haven't been great recently, and I guess that's kind of soured me on them. Hero is coming back. He practiced, I believe, today, so he should be back eventually. But you see the young guys still taking steps up at times. Khalil Ware has been dominant recently. Bam's still been playing really good. I know Bam's not a young guy anymore, but like Bam's been playing well. I don't know. I think that they're a good team. I don't think they're an elite team. I think teams are kind of figuring them out and how to play against their style, where they try and be fast and outpace you. You know, teams are kind of adjusting to that, and we'll see how they adjust. And Norm Powell, I think he got hurt and missed a little bit of time, so that kind of didn't help either. I'm going to put the Lakers in top 5 because they are top 5. They are. They've been playing really good ball recently. Luka went to go be a good daddy, but he came back and he looks just as good. You know, he had a kid. He's got dad powers now. LeBron damn near carried them down the stretch last night against Philly. Like, he was killing them. He had 15 in the fourth or something like that. LeBron impressed the hell out of me. Again, there's games where LeBron will struggle, like Toronto, but then he makes the right play at the end, diming out to Rui for the game. And then there's games like last night against Philly, where he just went Captain America again. Their scoring is just so potent, and they've managed to squeeze the best possible outcome out of DeAndre Ayton. Ayton was a big worry for me coming into the season at that center spot, but they've managed to squeeze some good play out of him, and that makes me happy. Good for JJ Redick, good for the team. You know, Luka, Reeves, Bron, it's a dangerous trifecta right there. And I think that they are also just a backup center away from being in that, like, this could be a championship team level of team. This could be a Thunder, you know, if they get a backup center. Maybe not to the same extent as the Thunder, but they'd be even closer, in my opinion. The Spurs are going to go in good but not elite. They've been playing good ball without Victor, like fine ball. De'Aaron Fox is helping carry that load. And a lot of it is like the role players have stepped up. Luke Cornett's had some good run. Harrison Barnes has had some good run. Devin Vassell has had some really good run. You know, they're a fun team to watch, and it's like the vibes are up even when Victor's not there. The vibes are still up. Yeah, I believe the Spurs lost to the Cavs the other day, but I think they started Bismack Biyombo at center. Like, I don't know if you expected to win that game. You know, there's some scheduled losses, and that one you could just look at the starting 5 and be like, yeah, they're probably going to get eaten alive. The Spurs have played some really good ball, though, and it's going to be fun to see their fully healthy team once Victor's back with Fox, and, you know, maybe they get their young guys back, Harper, and it's going to be a fun team. This is just a really fun team with little to no expectations that's without Victor Wembanyama right now, and they're still playing good enough. You know what? I debated it. I'm going to do it. Houston's going in the top 5. Houston's going to go in the top 5. I wasn't sure who was going to round it out if I wanted to push the Knicks up. It's 4 Western Conference teams and the Detroit Pistons as my top 5 teams. Overall, I think the Houston Rockets are injured a little bit right now, but they still look really good. Like, they had a really good game the other night without Şengün, and Amen Thompson needs to be able to knock down a 3. I know that's been the what if since he came into the league, but man, this offense would be impervious I don't know if that's the right word to use there. If Amen Thompson could knock down a corner three at least. Impervious. No, I don't think. Maybe impeccable. I don't know. I'm using big words today, guys. The Houston Rockets have been super fun to watch, honestly. Their defense is clamps, and their offense is like, I don't know. Sometimes it's ugly but beautiful at the same time. All these back taps by Steven Adams. He just gets inside position and slaps the ball out to the perimeter. Like, it's genius, but it's so dumb at the same time. Reed Sheppard has looked very competent. And there was a portion of the season, a portion of his career where Reed Sheppard did not look very competent. So it's nice to see this change and him kind of grow more confidence in his game and become more efficient in the mid-range from three. And he's not even coming in looking to play like true point guard. Reed Sheppard checks in the game, and he's like, I'm going to get shots up. And that's what I love. That's what he needs to do. That's his role. That's where he fits it perfectly, and he's done a really good job with it. Memphis Grizzlies are going to go in mid but fun. They're under 500. I could put them in unfun, but realistically, like, they've got some guys like Cedric Coward has been playing very good basketball. I know Jalen Wells hasn't been playing well recently. I know that one. But there's a ton of guys on their team that have just been playing all right. Like Zach Edey's still fine. Of course, Jaren is underwhelming to an extent, but overall, I don't know. I just really like watching Memphis because they're a team that doesn't have I don't think they have a superstar on their team right now. And they've still managed to piece together wins. You know, they're staying competent, and I don't know what's going to happen when Ja Morant comes back. Are they going to be good again? I don't really know. They're a team I'm super unsure about, and that's kind of why I have them in the mid but fun, because I don't know what to expect, but it's been a pleasant experience, I guess. Bucks, mid, not fun. Can't do it. No Giannis. Bucks games are an atrocious viewing experience. I cannot lie to you. I can't watch Bobby Portis isolate anymore. I can't do it. Ryan Rollins is trying his ass off. Miles Turner's having a good season, kinda. But it doesn't matter without Giannis. They are very reliant on Giannis. And, of course, most teams are relying on their stars. But, like, it's not a great roster construction. Like, you see the Spurs without Wembanyama. They're still good and competent. You see the Lakers when Luka went to go be a good father. They still play good basketball. You know, the Rockets were without Şengün the other night, and they still played good basketball. You know, all these teams without their star players have played well, except for the Bucks. They miss Giannis, and it's over. They don't have a co-star. They're just hard to watch, and so I guess I don't. The answer is I don't watch them. But either way, the Bucks are a hard watch without Giannis, and I don't know if there's a trade coming or not. I made a whole video on that. Go watch that if you would enjoy that. But overall, man, they're not fun without Giannis. Timberwolves, good, not elite. They're a weird team. They've been closing better recently, and that was a big critique I had of them, was that they struggled to close games. They look like a team late in the game that would just rely on Anthony Edwards to pound into isolation and go get a bucket. And that's not a bad strategy. Anthony Edwards is a bucket getter. But there's some of those nights where it's like your offense was working beautifully down the stretch. Jaden McDaniels is getting open shots. He's getting the ball and putting it on the deck and finishing. And then it gets to the fourth quarter, and it's like, all of a sudden, it's only Ant and Randall that can touch the ball. It's only Ant and Randall that can shoot the ball down the stretch. It feels like sometimes they just completely abandon their offense late in games, which isn't a great sign. But recently, they've flipped it, and they've closed games well. Like against the Pelicans, it was a close game, and then they peeled off. And it all started because their defense was elite. That's where it starts with this Minnesota team, is can you guys defend? And when the answer is yes, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a hard team to beat. When the answer is no, they're very beatable, because if you can just score on them and force them into half-court offense, sometimes they really just don't find good offense in the half-court, especially late in games. But recently they've closed well, so I'll back off my criticisms and just say they've been playing well. I love Jaden McDaniels, and his step forward this season in the mid-range, taking people off the deck, just scoring more efficiently than last year. I'm happy for Jaden McDaniels. Like really, this guy has developed his offensive game beyond what I thought. Philly is mid but fun because Tyrese Maxey's dropping 35s every night. Joel Embiid played against the Lakers, right? And I love Joel Embiid. I'm moving my camera, sorry. Joel Embiid is actually like one of my favorite superstars to watch. I was also a fan of Prime Harden, so if you get the image there, I don't mind free throws. But Joel Embiid last night really made me mad. Specifically, I think it was their last possession. Austin Reeves was guarding him. He free throw line. He gets to about the free throw line. He's posting up Austin Reeves. Reeves flops his ass off, and Joel Embiid decides to take a 1-foot fadeaway. Could have taken another step toward the rim, kind of like a step through almost, but Reeves was on the floor, and it was wide open. I'll see if I can get a screen grab, but it was open. He could have gotten closer to the rim there, and he didn't. He took a 1-foot fadeaway, and he missed it. He made the shot a lot tougher than it needed to be. That irked me. He made the shot a lot harder than it needed to be. Otherwise than that, though, like, Philly is a team with weird expectations where I thought they could be really good, but also their floor was really low. And Paul George has played a really good role player, but a $50 million role player, the price tag's awful. The production's not terrible. The price tag is awful. The rest of the roster, though, like Justin Edwards had some good games. Tyrese Maxey is the guy, though. Like, they nicknamed him the franchise for a reason. He can go. VJ's had some ups and some downs. Of course, any rookie does. But overall, I really like how Philly. I don't mind how Philly's played this season. They've been fun. They've been a fun watch. Lastly is Utah. I'm gonna put them in the went to AP, spent $200K. They aren't as bad as some of the blatantly bad tanking teams, but like there's some moments. I don't know if you guys saw the clip or not. Will Hardy absolutely tearing into his team in the huddle. Somebody got a video, and I saw it on Reddit actually, of like Will Hardy going to the huddle and yelling at his guys saying like, we've talked about this 100 effing times. Why are you know what I mean? Like, wake the fuck up and stuff like that. Like it was a coach that seemed very, very annoyed by how his teams played recently. They had Andre Kirilenko on their broadcast yesterday, and that made me happy because I'm a big Andre Kirilenko guy. But otherwise than that, there's no real reason to watch Jazz basketball. Ace Bailey's played all right at times. But I'm not tapped into Yusuf Nurkic hoops. If you enjoyed this video, you should like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to catch the game. See you guys in the next one.